when we talk about addiction, it often comes with a lot of stigmatism. Stigmatism from people around you, from society, from friends, even from family. Sometimes there's a lot of double standards in society, a lot of double standards in even in family. You hear one addiction's okay, but another's not. There's all these different rules people have for different people, for other people. Some rules apply for some people, other rules don't apply for them. There's often a lot of, hypocrisy. There's a lot of double standard. And often with addiction, it's very deeply rooted. It can be very deeply rooted in trauma. It can be a trauma response. If you've grown up and you've never known how to deal with certain things, and your immediate reaction, that pathway is always just to directly to go to comfort yourself, it can be a very hard thing to break when if it's been ingrained in you from a very young age. It's often rooted also in shame, um, and it can be a very hard cycle with the stigmatism. You can't talk to anybody about it because you'll be stigmatized for it. But then you're trapped in it. No matter what, there could be gambling addiction, could be overeating, could be substance use, sexual addictions. It can be and people just do not understand. They don't understand the trap and the cycle that the person dealing with the addiction gets themselves into. That's why, even though I don't 100% agree with the 12-step program, that's me personally, but I can see that they have there's some very good things about it. And one of the things that the person dealing with the addiction often needs, and usually 99% of the time needs, is a community around them. And that's what the 12 steps program often does for people dealing with addictions. It gives them that sense of community, that sense of support, and it gets rid of that shame. So if you're dealing with addiction, one of the first things, I'd really recommend is finding a community, whether that be a religious community. It doesn't have to be so spiritual or whatever. It can just be, they often have these meetup groups, and there's different groups. So even if you can get along to them, often, the person dealing with addiction has dealt with so much shame and isolation. If they can just get out and to start with, just communicate with other people, just talk to other people, find a group where you feel safe, find a bushwalking group. There's movie groups. There's all these different groups. There's book clubs if you like reading. Just to get along and just start to connect to others, and that will start. It will start to heal you. It will start to bring you out of that isolation. So, I really recommend number one step. I speak also about, in counseling, we talk about unconditional positive regard, having that unconditional positive regard. Often we're looking for approval in others, and we've got to get the approval from ourselves first. We've got to self acceptance, and have that unconditional positive regard for ourselves first. You know, so if we can do those two things, have unconditional positive regard for ourselves, let ourselves off the hook. Often we're so harsh and hard, on ourselves. If we can release ourselves from judgment, and if we can get into some sort of group where we're getting out of the isolation, when we're talking to others, communicating with others, find a safe place where you don't feel judged, where you feel accepted. where you can communicate to others freely. So I really recommend those things in your first steps. Remember, you're not alone. There's so many people. You'd be surprised how many people are dealing with addictions on all different levels. And the first step is to get out of yourself, just to accept yourself, then get out of yourself and just try to connect to others. Of course, hobbies and things of interest also take a big as well. So